we are on to the next step, which is once they've purchased, they've chosen their kit, the ultimate or the most popular, and they are your new customer. They're your new dipper. So the very first thing that you do is you send them that guide. You send them what you sold them on, the 30-day dip guide, 70 pages of awesome. So the very first thing I do is boop, I pop that up there and I think, there it is. There's your guide. I'm so excited for you. But what I want to make sure you guys do is you don't just send them that guide and leave it at that. There are a few other things that you can do to ensure that they have the best experience possible. Tell them how to use the guide. Tell them about the videos. Tell them that's where they're going to start their daily videos on day one. Show them the dip dashboard. Tell them that you recommend they print it off if they want to. They don't have to, but it's nice to have that. I always say to people, I love having it on my kitchen counter. I refer to it constantly, which is very true. They can print portions of it. They can do it in black and white, in color. They can put it in a binder. They can get it bound at their local printer shop, whatever it is, but make that recommendation to them and tell them how to use it. You're kind of giving them the lay of the land of this massive guide that you sold them on. This was the value that they bought. So let them know about it. Don't just drop it to them. The next thing I just want to make sure is that if they're not already in SuperFreqs, they should be by now, because you would have wanted to show them Jackie's video, maybe tag them into some testimonials, but it's not always, especially if it goes really quickly, right? So just make sure that they are in SuperFreqs. And again, you're their hostess. It's like if you had a party at your house and someone came to your front door and you opened the front door, you wouldn't just open the door so they could walk in and then walk away from them, right? You'd take their coat, you'd give them a hug, you'd welcome them, you'd bring them into the kitchen, introduce them to a few people, ask them if they wanted a drink, whatever it might be. So this is the same in SuperFreqs. Be a good hostess. Show them the lay of the land. Show them where day one check-in is. Let them know what's going on. Okay, so here are a couple of ideas. You don't have to do these extras, but I wanted to share them with you just in case. Before I share those with you, the next step is to offer them to put up a referral post. And the way that I do this, and it gets a lot of people saying yes, is I don't just say, hey, do you want to put up a post about what you're doing for me? That would be really great. I'd appreciate it. I let them know that people who do these kinds of challenges together, these health programs, these reset programs, by now, if they know the language of the dip, you could say a dip program like this. People who do it with their friends or their spouses or their sisters, whatever it might be, people who do these together, proven statistically that their results are better than people who do it alone. So now you're going to get that community in SuperFreqs, but do you want to do it with some friends? Do you have between 1 and 5 friends that might want to do this with you? That's the first thing I ask. And when they say yes, they think they do, or even if they say they don't think they do, I said, don't worry about it. You're going to have that community in the SuperFreqs group. And another thing I'm going to tell you in a minute, but then I ask them if they want to put up a referral post, especially if they say, yeah, they would like to do this with some friends. Then I say, that is amazing. The best thing for you to do, and I would love it so much if you did, because it helps me. I'm always straight up what a referral post is for me. You know, I appreciate nothing more than referrals. This is referral-based marketing, and your referrals mean so much to me. So it would be amazing if you would put up a simple post. Don't worry, it's nothing weird. And this way you might get some friends that you didn't even know about saying yes to doing this with you. And I might get some referrals for my business. Can I show you the post? And then they say yes or they say no, and I show them the post. Okay, so however you do referral posts, and there's trainings on that, I want you to not skip the step of offering referrals. The other thing I do, by the way, is it doesn't have to be a post. If they're kind of like, not really into posting, call them. Do you have a friend you can call? Do you have a sister that might want to do this with you? The referral doesn't have to come from a post. So open up their minds to, they might message people, text people, email their friends, or phone their friends. It's a referral, is a referral, is a referral. Don't skip this step. It's the first, I send the guide, I walk them through the guide, I make sure they're in SuperFreqs, and then I ask them if they would like to partner with some pals, right? Rising and vibing with your 5 besties. Does that sound familiar? Well, we're doing that here too. And it is very true that friends that do this together have better results. And you know what else they have? A lot of fun. Okay. So here are a couple of other things that I've done. They're totally optional. I just wanted to share them with you. One thing is I made a Facebook Messenger chat, dip chat, and all my dippers are in there. So I asked them, I told them it was not necessary. It was definitely not mandatory. They're already in SuperFreqs. They're getting more than enough beautiful community and support than they need in there. But would they like this extra value add from me where they're going to have daily reminders, accountability, right? I always say to people, accountability is your success insurance policy. And that's why one of the things that Jackie has done that's so brilliant is the daily check-ins. You guys, that is accountability at its finest. But I also opened a chat. I've done some extra giveaways in there. They're having fun. They're getting to know each other. They're creating a smaller, tighter community. It's kind of like taking SuperFreqs and funneling it down to something a little bit more intimate. And now I'm still having them all check in SuperFreqs and participate in there. It's not instead. It's a value add if they want. I recommend that you do this if it feels like a fit for you, and no worries if not, especially if you only have a couple. You get everything you need in the SuperFreqs. This is just something extra. And here's another extra thing that I have done that if this feels good to you, I'm going to suggest it. I offered to get on a phone call with every one of my dippers before they started their dip. A 15-minute phone call to get to know them better. And I was kind of amazed at how many put their hands up and said yes. Now, let me be clear. I wasn't pretending to be a holistic nutritionist. I said, it's not going to be about telling you how the program works because I want all their questions asked in SuperFreqs. But it was, guess what? Relationship building. It was to bond with them, to know them better, to learn about them so that I could serve them better on a daily basis in that chat or in the group. So I think I did about 12 phone calls. They literally were, the longest one was 20 minutes. And I want to assure you, do not worry. You don't have to have any answers. As soon as my ladies started to ask questions about what they could eat or what they couldn't eat on those phone calls, I said, hey, that's a great question. Let's get that in the SuperFreqs group after this phone call so we can get a great answer from our holistic nutritionists. The phone calls were about me knowing their goals. So the first thing I said was, tell me a little bit more about you and why you said yes to doing this dip. You guys, the things that I learned from these women had me in tears on a couple of phone calls that I would have never known had I not got on a phone call with them. This allowed for relationship building, and it also allowed for me to cheer them on in a slightly different, more personal way in the chat and in the group. These were beautiful calls. I found out also, so I asked them what got them to say yes and to tell me a little bit more about themselves. The second question was, what did they think their stumbling block would be so that I could keep an eye on it and help them a little more? So they would tell me that. We'd have a laugh or two and the call was over. This is, I'll say again, you don't have to do this, but it's a super value. Okay, so that is there's one more training coming for you guys. This was once they purchase. Let's recap. You're going to send the guide. You're going to walk them through the guide, not page by page, but just give them the lay of the land. Let them know that's where their videos are, etc. Use the language, the dip dashboard, the stack, all the things that are in there. Tell them how valuable these videos are and that you wouldn't miss a day. Sometimes you watch them twice. So you're going to give them the lay of the land on the guide. You're going to make sure they're in SuperFreqs and you're going to give them the lay of the land in there. Show them around a little bit. This takes minutes, you guys. Then you're going to ask them if they'd like to do this with some friends so that they have more fun and get better results. And that comes in the way of a referral post or a referral for you. And you're so appreciative if they say yes to that. No worries if not. And then you're also going to consider opening your own dip chat and consider doing one-on-one 15 minutes, get to know you better phone calls. Okay, see you on the next one. Bye.